The woman who checked out twice. The first time Olivia Reed disappeared, nobody noticed. The second time, the entire town panicked. At 7:14 a.m. on a cold November morning, a housekeeper unlocked room 312 of the Hawthorne Grand Hotel. The bed had been slept in. A half-finished cup of coffee sat on the desk. Olivia's suitcase remained beside the closet. Her purse rested on a chair. But the woman herself was gone. The strange part wasn't that she had vanished. It was that, according to the hotel's records, she had already checked out the night before. Someone had signed her name. Someone had returned her room key. And security cameras showed a woman who looked exactly like Olivia walking out of the hotel. The only problem? 3 witnesses swore Olivia was still inside the building hours later. Police immediately suspected identity theft. Then, they found something even stranger. The signature on the checkout receipt was genuine. Not forged. Genuine. The mystery attracted plenty of attention in the small lakeside town of Ashford Bay. Among the curious residents was Ethan Cole, owner of a local antique shop. 1. Ethan had spoken with Olivia 2 days before she disappeared. She had visited his shop, searching for information about a silver pocket watch engraved with the initials HG. At the time, Ethan thought nothing of it. Now he remembered something else. Olivia had seemed frightened. Not terrified. Not desperate. Just cautious. As though she believed someone was watching her. When Ethan mentioned this to police, they discovered Olivia had been researching the history of the Hawthorne Grand. Specifically, a fire that occurred nearly 50 years earlier. The fire had killed 3 guests. Or so everyone believed. As Ethan dug deeper, he found old newspaper articles containing a contradiction. One victim's body had never been positively identified. Yet somehow the death certificate had been issued anyway. The revelation transformed the investigation. Soon, townspeople began whispering the same theory. Someone who supposedly died in the fire had survived. And Olivia had discovered the truth. The prime suspect quickly became hotel owner Martin Graves. His grandfather managed the hotel during the fire. His family controlled all historical records. And several documents had recently vanished from the hotel's archives. Everything pointed toward Martin. Then detectives uncovered a hidden room sealed behind a wall in the hotel's basement. Inside, they found old ledgers, photographs, and a collection of letters. One photograph appeared to solve the mystery. It showed Martin's grandfather standing beside a 4th guest on the night of the fire. A guest who officially never existed. The town erupted. The case seemed finished. Martin Graves was arrested. Viewers of local news broadcasts celebrated. The mystery had been solved. Except Ethan wasn't convinced. One detail bothered him. The hidden room contained dust on every surface. Except for one photograph. The photograph that incriminated Martin. Someone had handled it recently. Someone wanted investigators to find it. That realization changed everything. The evidence against Martin was a trap. Someone had planted it. And there was only one person who had unrestricted access to both the archives and the hidden room. Grace Whitmore, the hotel's historian. The woman trusted to preserve its past. When police searched her office, they uncovered the real story. There had indeed been a 4th guest during the fire. But that guest wasn't a victim. He was a thief. He escaped during the chaos, carrying stolen bonds worth a fortune. For decades, his descendants secretly profited from assets linked to those bonds. Grace Whitmore was one of those descendants. Olivia Reed had uncovered the connection while researching the pocket watch. The initials HG belonged to the thief. Not a fire victim. Not a forgotten guest. A thief who disappeared and started a new life under a different identity. When Olivia confronted Grace with her findings, Grace panicked. She arranged the fake checkout. She disguised herself as Olivia on camera. Then she hid Olivia in an abandoned caretaker's cottage outside town while deciding what to do. But Olivia escaped during a storm and sought help from a passing truck driver. By the time authorities located her, Grace's entire scheme had begun collapsing. The town was stunned. The woman everyone trusted to preserve history had spent years rewriting it. Martin Graves was released. Grace Whitmore was arrested. And the mystery of Room 312 finally came to an end. Months later, Ethan reopened his antique shop after a busy summer season. Above the register sat the silver pocket watch that had started everything. Customers often asked why he kept it. Ethan always gave the same answer. Because sometimes the smallest clue isn't the answer. He smiled. It's the beginning of the right question.